Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alfany. All right, so we're going to begin with this article here, and I hope you're all doing well as we experience what I believe is the next wave of the great shakeout. All these things happening at the same time are not a coincidence, in my humble opinion. So the markets go red, SEC sues Binance. Right. Then at the same time, as one of our very, very good subscribers here let me know in the comment section yesterday of that video, Atomic Wallet was hacked. Listen, there's always a cause for every effect. So you mean to tell me that when everything is about to go well, all of a sudden all this happens, but they're not stopping anything, by the way. They're not going to stop. Listen, and we're not going to stop ourselves. We're going to continue to march forward. I mean, those who are willing, continue to march forward, continue to maintain strength, continue to fight, and we're not going to let these villains win. We're not. I refuse to take a step back. If I'm going out in a blaze of glory. I'm going to see the end. I'm not going anywhere. These intimidation tactics and, bringing great harm to crypto at all costs. We know, in my opinion, we know who's doing it. They've wanted to squeeze everybody out of these bank coins for a long time. We know they're going to attack. They're dirty. Just my humble opinion. But that doesn't pump fear into my heart. No. We're going to show them that for the first time, they're up against a force they can't stop. They're not strong enough to break us. Their hands are too small to fight with us. We have an unbreakable will, unshatterable minds. And there's nothing that can move us. I mean, I don't speak for everybody. I just speak for myself. But I stand on this ground here, and by all that is good, I either remain on this ground or you're going to have to lay me on that ground one way or the other. This is a war, folks. We always knew it. We always knew that. We're going to keep clear minds. We're going to continue to cover some good news here as we continue to move forward. And we're not going to let them believe that they got us here. Because they don't. You got to get through a little of the serious stuff, and then let's get back to living life. We make life good. Life doesn't just make itself good. We make life good. We make the days enjoyable. We control the energy where we want it to go. And we don't let those external forces control the energy. I don't care what external force it is. We control the energies of the day. If we want the day to be good, we make it good. We make it good. We change everything we need to in order to make the day good for ourselves, just like success. Nobody dictates our success in life. My apologies. We're going to get to this article. Just bear with me. I don't do this every day. Nobody controls our success. We go out there, we grab success, we bring it to ourselves. This is the way we've always done it. Came from the bottom to the top. Now we're here. And we're going to continue to take our destiny into our own hands. There is no fate but what we make for ourselves. Remember that. There is no fate but what we make for ourselves. We are the last of us. Many people have gone. We're the last of us. We're the strong. Welcome to legendary ranks. We're here now. You've been in the fight for a long time. We're going to stop here. You're going to put your shield down, your spear down. Listen, I respect whatever you want to do. But myself and a few warriors, we're going forward. We're going forward. We have to. It's our destiny. I must see the end of what this XLM and XRP saga is. I have to see the end of the path because I desire it so. Not any SEC or anyone else is going to change that path. So, this, once again, I'm unorthodox. What can I say? This article is from Cointelegraph.com. And it's titled, see how we shine SEC? Ripple XRP lawyer, outright SEC victory, 3%. Says here, Ripple case, pro lawyer tips outright SEC victory, less than 3%. Attorney John Deaton says there's a 25% chance Ripple will see an outright victory against the Securities and Exchange Commission, while rumors fly of a possible Ripple IPO, which a lot of people speculate that they wouldn't be talking about that right now if the case wasn't, they didn't feel like the case was already won. I say feel like, it doesn't mean that they have the case won. It's up to the judge. It says here, pro XRP lawyer John Deaton has tipped less than 3% for the United. Why do they repeat things so much? They iterated that already. Let's move on a little bit here. The crypto law founder has been a vocal advocate for Ripple against the SEC, which filed a lawsuit against the company. Well, we know about that. It says in a June 3rd episode of the Good Morning Crypto podcast, Deaton said he tipped a 25% chance that the presiding U.S. District Judge, the Honorable Judge Annalisa Torres, rules in outright favor of Ripple, and a 50% chance that Ripple claims victory by way of, quote, splitting the baby ruling. This refers to Judge Torres, quote, drawing a line in the sand where she could potentially rule that XRP was offered as an unregistered security before 2018. However, in the wake of the Hinman documents, I hope that there's a boom, boom, boom going off when they are released. But we will see. All I really need for them, once again, is just for them to be wielded as a weapon to bring us closer to victory. That's all I need. It says, which refer to internal SEC messages related to a 2018 speech given by former SEC Director William Hinman. It's possible that the cryptocurrencies can transition from securities to commodities once they become sufficiently decentralized. There's that phrase again, we used to go over a lot, that they use in a lot of the different white papers, and a lot of the different websites before they changed them. You know, there was a lot lost when they changed that Ripple website. A lot of information was lost. That's what I saw. It says, quote, I think that XRP is going to be deemed not a security, and that I think that secondary market sales show, secondary market sales show comment. I think that's a typo. I'm not sure what they're trying to say there. It says, even if Judge Torres does rule finding that Ripple violated the law, that doesn't apply to secondary market sales. Okay, and that's the precedent that we saw set in the LBRY case. So that makes perfect sense in my humble opinion. It says, while Ripple executives, including its CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, have been long predicting an imminent end to the roller coaster lawsuit from the SEC, Deaton highlighted that Judge Torres will most likely come to a final decision before September 30th this year. So once again, we have all these different timelines. Who knows? You know, I'm just sitting tight, you know, very patient, not worried about it. We're still building. We're going to be good to go. In my humble opinion, not financial advice, we're going to be good to go. Whether it happens in June, September, or early 2024, we have all these different timelines. You have Brad Garlinghouse and I believe Jeremy Hogan saying either June or July, possible. Then we have Deaton saying September. We will see. We will see. When I hear it from the judge's mouth, I'll go by that. All right. That's personally how I feel. We cover the news here. We research these things. But when it comes from the judge's mouth, that's when I'm going to take everything very seriously. And I'm probably going to be celebrating at that time. Let's move on to another article here. So this article is from U.Today and it's titled, Ripple Executive Provides Jaw-Dropping Insight into XRP Creation. It says, in a recent exchange on Twitter, a member of the crypto community engaged in a debate with a representative from Ripple regarding the creation of XRP, a popular cryptocurrency. The discussion shed light on intriguing aspects surrounding the origins and development of XRP, leaving many astounded by the revelations. Really? Hey, you better not be clickbaiting me. So the debate unfolded when a member of the crypto community challenged the notion that XRP was created by Ripple. They presented evidence of Ripple's history, including, oh, I see where this is going. Okay, I see where it's going. Including the creation of Ripple credits in a significant event where Jed McCaleb reset the XRPL. The disappearance of initial blocks raised suspicions of hiding the distribution of XRP. CTO at Ripple and one of the architects behind the XRP ledger, responded to these claims through a series of tweets. He dismissed the entire logic behind the argument, drawing a parallel with the creation of Bitcoin Cash. Schwartz pointed out that when Bitcoin Cash was created, many individuals already held the cryptocurrency. Very good point. And this is something that I believe he was iterating, and a few other people were trying to iterate over the last 3 days. I can't remember the context of why they had that conversation, but I think we covered that on the channel. It says, but it was not due to any direct involvement from creators of Bitcoin Cash. He emphasized that changes in system rules or operations do not generate new versions of existing assets. Okay, so this is like a similar argument to what people were saying before about like the private ledger versus the public, and then David Schwartz came out at that time as well, saying that there's only one XRP price, right? He had to make that clear. And this is the actual tweet from David Schwartz. Says, when Ethereum switched to proof of stake, did that somehow issue all the Ethereum that existed both before and after the new system launched? Was all Ethereum that will ever be mined created when the chain launched? The facts aren't really in dispute. You just seem to want to. Ooh, okay, he's getting a little fiery there. Says the date at which all XRP that would ever exist was created is well known. It's memorialized in the repository, and we've talked about it. Yes, there were changes in the ledger rules and accounting systems after that. The older rules and systems died off. All right, and then he elaborates a little bit further, but I understand where he's going. It makes perfect sense in my humble opinion. All right, so now this article here is from finbold.com. We're just going to read this little tidbit here. Make sure to check all these websites out. They're doing a great job. And I'm just reading little tidbits from these articles here. If you want to read the rest, make sure you check them out. So it's titled Ripple versus SEC Update as of June 5th, 2023. And it goes as such. While the cryptocurrency sector is waiting for the June 13th release of the controversial documents and the legal standoff between the United States Securities and Exchange Commission and blockchain firm Ripple, an important hearing awaits that could have an effect on the case, as well as the future of crypto assets. As it happens, the U.S. Congress of House of Representatives Committee on Agriculture has announced a hearing called The Future of Digital Assets, providing clarity for digital asset spot markets for June 6, which Ripple's Senior Director of Global Policy, Susan Friedman, said it was important for crypto in her tweet on June the 1st. Quote, while the upcoming June 13 HFSC hearing is an important one for crypto, the one being held next week by House Committee on Agriculture is equally so. Congressman Glenn Thompson has been a steadfast supporter of the call for clarity in this space. Among other speakers, the meeting will hear Paul Grewal, the Chief Legal Officer, CLO, at crypto trading platform Coinbase. Okay, so we're going to stop right there. They have a lot more to this article here. They go into a little bit of information here. More recently, pro lawyer Jeremy Hogan shared an excerpt from the U.S. Supreme Court case Slack versus Pirani that came out last week, in which he described as, quote, analogous to XRP in the secondary market where the XRP was sold as, quote, an investment contract. So we don't have to go too much deeper into that. Like I said, there's so many different precedents that have already been set that are in our favor. But this is a very good article here. Once again, it's on finbold.com. All right. So now let's move on here. So this article is also from U.Today and it's titled Spike in XRP address activity predicts promising price action. You know, we'll see what happens over the next few weeks. I'm always bullish on XRP, XLM, Algorand. However, yeah, there's going to be a lot of volatility. We see that now. And there seems to be a lot of sabotage in my humble opinion. You don't have to agree with that. But I mean, that's a heck of a lot of coincidence to hit the market all at once. And it's very easy when you have a lot of capital to manufacture situations. That's all I'm saying. All right. But let's continue on here. It says, prominent crypto analyst Ali Martinez has highlighted the expanding XRP network and its potential impact on price action. I think more so I'm looking in the future, you know, a year from now or after the case, then all that work that all these bank coin companies have put in, then we'll see if they can actuate on that and if all that work really is going to pay off. Which, if you're bringing in a ton of businesses or a ton of banks, in Ripple's case, it definitely should. Of course, it's going to take time, but I think I'm looking more towards that, like I said, at that particular time. It says, noted the increasing number of addresses, new addresses being created on the XRP blockchain, which is often considered a reliable predictor of price movements. According to Martinez, a consistent rise in new address creation usually precedes a significant price upswing. I mean, we were at 53 cents yesterday. I believe it was yesterday, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. We were at 53 cents. That was pretty good. We were going up. It was like 50. We were holding at 50 consolidated at 50 for a while. Then it was 51, consolidated there. Then 52, consolidated there for a little bit. I think we went from 51 to 52 pretty fast, though. Maybe I shouldn't call it consolidation. But then we went to 53. And I'm like, okay, this is a consistent rise until the SEC thing and atomic wallet thing. And I mean, like I said, there's a lot of coincidences, negative coincidences hitting the market at the same time. And I don't believe in coincidence. Every effect has a cause. But until then, we were doing pretty good. Let's scroll down here. They have a few charts. The recent surge in address activity surrounding XRP has drawn attention over the past few days. Today, a leading cryptocurrency news platform. I love their self-promotion there. They're a very good cryptocurrency platform, 100% good. Initially reported on this anomaly in late May, citing Sentiment's findings. Wait, I was about to say that. Didn't we read that from Sentiment? Wait a minute. Anyway, remarkably, these spikes in address activity rank as the second and third largest recorded during the entire observation period of XRP. All right, so if you want to read the rest of that, that's on today. All right, check them out. So, another article from today. We're going to read this little tidbit. It's titled, Pro XRP Lawyer Thinks XRP's Fate on Secondary Markets Might Be Decided by this Supreme Court Case. Okay, so maybe they're so they're referencing what we read before. It says pro Ripple lawyer Jeremy Hogan thinks XRP's fate in secondary markets might be decided by the recently initiated Supreme Court case Slack versus Pirani. They go a little bit more into detail here from a tweet by Jeremy Hogan. So this is the tweet from Jeremy Hogan. This U.S. Supreme Court case just came out last week. Slack versus Pirani. If you want to look that up, it's Pirani. Just in case you're not. I know a lot of people listen to me and they're not actually watching the video. They're just listening. So I want to spell it out for that reason. The case is analogous to XRP in the secondary market we read that part in the other article. It says XRP doesn't magically maintain status as a, quote, security outside the context of the initial, quote, contract. It says, and then he has these pieces highlighted. It says held. Section 11 of 1933 Act requires a plaintiff to plead and prove that he purchased securities registered under a materially misleading registration statement. Another piece that he has highlighted down here says the majority of courts have for years held that 11A liability extends only to shares that are traceable to an allegedly defective registration. Interesting. It says he adds that XRP does not magically maintain status as a security. I say it was never a security. What about that? Let's just go with that. Let's not give them any victory at all. I say don't bend the knee. Don't take a step back. Don't concede anything to the enemy. That's personally how I feel. So then it says another user asked, quote, it means that all secondary market sales cannot be considered securities. Yeah, but I thought this was already a precedent was already established with the LBRY cases, where the judge said that the secondary sales of LBRY token is not security. So, I mean, this is just one more weapon, in my humble opinion. I could be wrong, but it's just one more weapon I feel that we can use that is going to be used in our run toward a victory in this case, whenever that's going to be. All right, so now let's move on here. So now I want to get to this this video here. This video was released on Stellar Foundation's YouTube channel. So this is a little bit of Stellar news. Now this video was it's a 41-minute video. And it's titled Solving Last Mile Payments for the New Digital Economy webinar with AirTM. Now, what was interesting here, I believe, is the part where they talked about, and this is something I've been speaking about for a long time, and they didn't use this terminology, but this is pretty much what they were saying. Correct me if I'm wrong, where they were talking about going after the digital nomad economy. People working abroad, people that need to get paid abroad. Then also people that are like taskers, where they do a lot of these different apps, or I don't know what you call those individuals, but they do like a lot of these different apps, like get it done apps. You need someone to go shopping for you, need someone to deliver your food or something like that. And I'm pretty sure in there is like ride sharing. I'm pretty sure individuals like that. And they're talking about going after that market. Now that's what I want to hear. That's what I like to hear. Do it. Do it, and then give us the reports so we can break down the information. It was very good. They sound very hungry, like they had a very good understanding of those particular markets. Now, here's why that's very impactful. The digital nomad era is only going to continue to expand. There's so many people working from other countries, right? Remotely, if you will. And more people want to do that. And there's a lot of people going independent now, as far as like they're running their own businesses. They're starting their own businesses of various kinds, especially with the online stuff going on. There's a lot of different ways to make money online now. And so more and more people are going to need an efficient way for that capital to move back and forth, for them to receive their paychecks and their paychecks and payouts more effectively. And RTM is saying, hey, look, we realize that, we understand that, and we want to go after that market. Not only that, we want to expand and grow as that, as those individuals, or however you phrase that, as that grows as well. My apologies with that. I'm very tired today. But it was very potent. It was very interesting. Now, if they can do what they're saying, that's going to bring a lot of capital in. Not only that, but the very possibility of them working with companies directly, not just providing, let's say they provide services to the individuals to receive and to send, things like that. But the services providing to companies, there's so many companies. Listen, there's a chasm right now. Like a lot of these ride sharing companies are struggling. Like Uber is struggling a little bit. Lyft is struggling even more. Things like that. So there's going to be new companies coming in. That means there's a lot of new entrants into those markets that might need efficient ways to move capital back and forth, right? Not only that, like what are those things where people pay other people money to make a website, pay other people money to do voiceovers, pay other people money to do coding for them, or like all this little stuff. And they can be in another country. That's growing rapidly, right? So now you can have RTM, if they we'll keep up to date on this, but they can move that capital as well. We'll see how far they go, but right now it's sounding pretty good, which is interesting. They remind me a lot of Velo. I'm going to say that right now, because Velo, if you remember, a lot of pretty much Velo is Interstellar. Yeah, Mike Kennedy of Interstellar, the head of that, which was the for-profit wing of Stellar, move over to Velo and all that kind of stuff like that. But then you have this individual here, one of them, I can't remember the individual's name, but she was also at Stellar for like 4 or 5 years, something like that. Went over to RTM. So, like I said, they remind me a lot of Velo. So Stellar is going to be pushed very heavily. I mean, it's looking good right now. We'll try to stay privy and abreast of what's going on. And so now we move on to another chapter here, another article here. All right. So we're going to go to this article here and close out with a little bit of gold news. So this is from sbma.org, and it's titled Gold in 2023, Factors Influencing Its Performance. And it goes as such. Gold made a strong start to 2023, making gains of $220 before reaching a high as of late April of $2,048 an ounce. This strength took place against a background of tightening central bank policy that might otherwise be expected to drag on gold prices. It says the dollar and gold, instead of a secular decline on the dollar that peaked in dollar index terms in September 2022, drove a substantial rise in the USD gold price. That dollar weakness is, in very broad terms, expected to continue through the rest of the year and into the next, as next year as markets work on the expectation that U.S. rates have peaked and that the U.S. will be the first major economy to ease. We will see about that. But if it does, then obviously everything gets to play. It says, in addition, the broad dollar cycle pointed to a peak in the latter half of 2022, followed by an extended move lower. So far, the dollar index, or DXY, has fallen by almost 14% from September 2022 high. This should provide a solid underpinning to gold's performance this year. Yeah, but that was always expected for it to come down a little bit because of the very nature of why it went up in the first place. The collapsing of those banks had a lot to do with it, right? So the real rates, which, by the way, keep your eyes open. In the next year, more of them could go down. And then what's going to happen? People are going to run back to gold and silver. So gold and silver as long-term investments, nothing that people should ever worry about. But anyway, it says real rates and gold. In contrast to previous years, real rates, or approximations of them, have not been as significant a driving force in gold's price behavior or as an explanatory variable for changes in the price. Real yields are significantly higher, yet gold too has risen. And recent range-bound yields have borne less of a relationship with the rising gold price. The banking sector in gold, next section here. It says, a run on a hitherto not very well-known U.S. bank in Santa Clara led to significant volatility in fixed income combined with fears of systemic risk to the financial system both within America and the Eurozone. The takeover of SVB by U.S. authorities on March 10th led to a substantial downgrading of the expected pathway of policy rates, helping gold rally hard from $1,810 to $2,048 in little over a month. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So it was always expected it would come down a little bit. It could have come down way more, but it hasn't. That's pretty good. So the demise of SVB and a smaller number of other U.S. banks was followed by real fear over the financial stability of Credit Suisse and GSIB, or a global systemically important bank, whose resolution by Swiss authorities has created a post-merger UBS with a balance sheet double the size of Swiss GDP and perhaps a lifetime of litigation over the treatment of junior bond holders. We're going to stop right there. All right, so now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.